Lieutenant Governor John Garamendi, who ran and won a seat in Congress from Northern California, the governor chose Santa Maria State Senator Abel Maldonado, a moderate Republican who, if confirmed, would be the first Latino Republican to serve in statewide office in 130 years. He is our guest this morning. Congratulations, Senator.
It's great to be here with you.
Was this a surprise, or did you expect this announcement?
I didn't expect it. It was a surprise toward the end when I knew it was going to happen, and it's really something that I don't even know how to explain it. My father crosses the border in 1963 as a bracero. He doesn't have a penny in his pocket, but he has his values that gets them through all this. He makes up everything with values of hard work, and his son becomes nominated by another immigrant, Arnold Schwarzenegger. I mean, it's a beautiful story, and it still hasn't hit me, to be very sincere with you.
Let's talk about your background a little bit, though. You grew up in Santa Maria, of course, northern Santa Barbara County. As you mentioned, your father, a farm worker and a small patch of strawberry field, went to Cal Poly San Luis Obispo,
yeah.
And then you had every intention of staying in agriculture.
That was the whole intention, and we found out that in the mid-'80s, in order to grow in California, if you have a small family business, you have to be vertically integrated. And in order to get vertically integrated, we grew a processing plant, and then I had to deal with this thing called government. And in 1993, I felt that government wasn't there to cater to small family businesses like they were supposed to. And I said to myself, you know what, I'm going to run for office. And now that I'm in government, I've realized that government is designed to move slow. But I must tell you, that's how I got involved in politics.
City Council in Santa Maria, then ran for mayor.
I ran for mayor. I was the youngest mayor in the history of Santa Maria. I was in the city council. I ran for assembly, and I was not going to run for assembly at the time, but if you recall, our local congressman passed away, Walter Capps, which opened up the seat for the assembly, and I ran for the assembly, and obviously I've been a state senator. I'm serving my second term, and Governor Schwarzenegger has now nominated me to be the lieutenant governor for the state of California.
A lot of people know you because of the vote that you cast for the budget earlier this year and for tax hikes. You were a key Republican vote, and you caught a lot of flack for that from the conservative wing of your party. Was this appointment in gratitude from the governor for that vote?
I don't think so, Conan, not at all. You know, first of all, I don't want to say that you voted for this and you're going to get that. Not at all. I think the governor has noticed that I'm very bipartisan. I never put Republican or Democrat ahead of the people of California. And I must say that when I casted that vote, Conan, it was probably the most difficult vote in my life. I had never voted for a tax increase in 14 years. But you know what? California was doing something that I couldn't live with. We were giving the people of California IOUs. This is the largest state in the nation, telling someone, you know what? I owe you. And I was somewhat embarrassed. Not only that, we were on the verge of bankruptcy, and I said, you know what? I'm not going to play politics. My career can go number two. We're going to govern, and we're going to put California first. And here we go, and we did it. And I'm proud of that. So now we're moving on. Now we have to reform the state so we never get into that position again and create more jobs, jobs, jobs. That's what people want, Conan.
Well, part of the reform, you advocated for the nonpartisan, not the nonpartisan, but the
open
primary, which will be on the ballot in 2010. Did that make you persona non grata as well in the legislature? Because both parties have been opposed to that.
You know, I think some people didn't like it, but at the end of the day, I think the people of California like it, and the people of California are going to really love it, because what we're trying to do is something very, very simple. We want people in the Senate and the Assembly to get elected just like we elect our local city council member, like our local mayor, our local school board member. No party involved. Just flat out go out and tell people what you're going to do. Everybody gets to vote for you in the primary, and in the general, when it's the largest voting block, they get to choose who the winner's going to be. And you couple that with redistricting, and maybe down the road you couple that with maybe term limit extension, because term limits is broken. I came into this office saying, I'm for term limits. I've been there for 11 years. It doesn't work, Conan. That must change. So that's another reform down the road that we can do to move the state in the right direction. We're close. It's right around the corner.
Well, let's talk about the confirmation process. Darrell Steinberg, the President Pro Tem of the California Senate, released a statement saying that if they do confirm you, that would open up your state Senate seat for a special election, which he believes would cost the taxpayers $2 million. He doesn't think it's worth it. He thinks that they should be saving that money. Plus, next year, the voters are going to be voting outright for lieutenant governor anyhow. So he's wondering, let me quote here, it may be both fiscally and politically prudent to permit the people to make their own selection for this statewide office next year and avoid the expense of a costly special election in Senate District 15. What do you say to that?
Well, first of all, Darrell Steinberg is my friend. I've served with him in the Assembly, and I served with him in the Senate. He is my pro tem today. And I can say this about Darrell. He loves the institution, and he cares about the institution. On the notion of expense, I must say this. We've got notice from the governor's office that if the confirmation process ends by February the 16th, which is almost a little over 70 days, that the governor will set this election with the normal traditional election of in June and November, and it'll be zero cost to the state taxpayers' dollars. So I don't see that as an issue. I look forward to discussing that with our pro tem, Darrell Steinberg, and frankly, I'm going to ask him for his support. I think we've worked together on many issues. And, we have a great relationship. We're going to continue that great relationship.
If you were approved by both houses, you'd be a member of the UC Board of Regents, which recently passed a 32% hike in fees. If you were on that board, would you have voted for that fee hike?
Well, first of all, Conan, it'd be a cheap shot for me to say just no because I didn't have all the details in front of me. That'd be a cheap shot to the people that voted for it. But I can say this, is that we need to look at the whole UC system. And it's just part of the problem that we have with the legislature. The legislature is broken. And because we can't get our house in order, we're cutting them. They can't get their house in order. So what do we need to do? We need to reform the state and how it finances itself. Currently today we have these big influxes of money that come in. We spend on long-term programs. The money dries up. We have no money coming in, programs are still there, and we're going on the verge of bankruptcy. So we need to reform the state on its financial side. So, Conan, but I do have to say this. I think it's the wrong time to raise tuition on these students to 32%. Right now, they can't even get teachers. They can't even get classes to get their curriculum. All of a sudden, we hit them with an increase. Number one. Number two, if you're going to cut 32% from the bottom, you better start with 32% from the top. It's that simple. We're doing that in Sacramento. I just took my pay cut. Everybody's taking a pay cut. It better start from the top, too. You got to lead by example.
You would also be a member of the State Lands Commission, which has a role in offshore oil drilling. Would you vote for limited offshore oil drilling off the California Central Coast, which you're representing right now in the Senate?
Well, I've been in the Senate for now 5 years, and I've been pretty consistent on offshore oil. I've voted no on offshore oil. It's the will of my district. Once again, I don't have the information that John Garamendi had and John Chung had during that process. So we need to look at every case on a case-by-case basis. Obviously, times are tough, but I think my record speaks for itself.
State Senator Abel Maldonado, the nominated Lieutenant Governor for the state of California. Good luck.
Can I count on you?
I don't have a vote, but thank you very much.
Thank you,
You can come back, though, that's for sure.
Thank you.